KFMA. We're starting the podcast broadcast early to welcome our guests in studio, returning friends, John and Bree from Arizona Rescue Life, who always are such great contributors, not only here to the old Pueblo and helping out rescue pets and get them adopted, but also contribute to the show. Like for Teddy Bear Toss, they donated so many stuffed animals that awesome. I went out through the stands to just give out a bunch to everyone, and then we scored. I couldn't even give them out in time. There's so many. So then I just had like 3 extra big old garbage bags where I'm like, here we go. And we broke records with this year's Teddy Bear Toss. So I thank you. Welcome awesome. Back to the studio, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I also want to show off a bunch of pictures of some of the adorable animals that you guys have up for adoption. Now, a little backstory that you were filling in to Valdez. You guys are all DIY, independent rescue, animal rescue that you've been doing for how long now?
3 years.
3 years. Yes, and it's been a passion of yours for a while. In fact, actually, you started just rescuing dogs, and now you expanded to cats, all in your house. Like, the fact that you're not coming in looking like, a wolf.
You'd be surprised, too, because we have several huskies, so, hair's just part of our attire now.
How much money do you spend on lint rollers a month? Like, is lint rollers the thing? You got to have, 7 by the door? No?
Don't even waste money.
Usually, all our shirts are, the dry fit. All the shirts we sell for donations. So this way you just go like this, the hair kind of pops right off.
And that's why I love these shirts.
Yes.
So you just gave me another shirt, which again has a little shine to it, but you could tell it's almost like hair repellent.
Yes.
Which is perfect when you go out, because nobody wants to go out and have all the hair from their pets stuck to their shirt when they're going out to a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
And so here, let me pull up your Instagram here. The first puppy that I want to show, and the reason why we have you in is because you got a cool event that's happening at the TCC where you're looking to raise money, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be a hockey game that's happening. Is it U of A hockey that's playing tonight?
Yes.
Sir.
Nice.
U of A versus Colorado tonight.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's going to be happening tonight and tomorrow night. And on tonight, it's going to be Paws and Pucks. So what's going on with Paws and Pucks? How can people contribute to this?
So tonight you could bring your dog with you and you purchase a ticket for your dog at the box office. It's $5 and all the dog tickets go straight to the rescue.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes. So, so the stands are going to be packed with fans and dogs all hanging out there at the TCC, which would be great if, they all start barking, whatever, every goal.
They start howling when the alarm goes off for the goal.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? Now, this is not the first time you've done the Paws and hockey event, right?
No, it is.
Oh, it is. Nice. Excellent. And so those proceeds for the $5 tickets to bring your pup to the U of A hockey game tonight, that goes directly to you to help you fund your operation?
Yes. Help us get all the dogs and cats fixed, all their medical done, and ready for adoption. Yeah,
because that's what it is, right? So you take these dogs in and go through the process for me again, because you get them basically adoption ready.
Yes. So we bring in the dogs and cats. We get their shots done, spayed, neutered, microchipped, rabies, and then dewormed. And then with the dogs, we work on kennel training, potty training, basic commands, if they're old enough, leash training. And then the cats, they're kind of self-sufficient.
Yeah, they are. They're genetically my cat was essentially a rescue. She rescued us, right? And and she came in, she was already trained. I looked everywhere for a previous owner, and it wasn't. She was just like a street cat. But she was just I know what to do here. Generations of me have been doing this and turned out to be the best cat. So we're very fortunate in that. But this is also great because there's a lot of people out there that, obviously want dogs, but sometimes, dogs got to be so expensive, or even to go through the process of doing, all the responsible things that you guys are doing, getting the shots, getting it potty trained, is difficult for a lot of, especially first-time dog owners. So this is kind of you just making it easy for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get a free dog, and you're going to spend at least $1,000 doing all the medical. People don't realize.
Right. And when they adopt from you and stuff, do you pay any fees or anything like that? You guys,
Yeah, we have adoption fees. They range from $250 and down, depending on the dog.
Nice.
So.
How many dogs do you have right now?
We have 6 fosters.
6 fosters right now. Yeah. I mean, at any given time, you have at least your Dr. Doolittle type of house, right?
We've had 23 dogs in our house at once. Most of them were puppies.
Yeah.
So they do take up the fireplace room and the backyard very well.
Yes. Do your neighbors love you?
They can't hear them, they say.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
We
good.
got a brick house, so it's kind of nice. And that was one of my things, is making sure the neighbor's okay with it, which all of them have been so far. They all kind of understand, like, hey, we save these dogs, we do rescue.
Right.
We try to keep them quiet. If they start barking, outside, then we'll bring them in.
Yeah.
So.
Because I'll be honest with you, if you were my neighbor and you knocked on my door and said, "Oh, just a heads up, I'm going to start an animal rescue next door," I'd be like, "You're going to do what now?" But no, it is great because you're obviously training them, and it's not just like somebody just having a bunch of dogs just run free in the backyard, right?
Right.
Yeah. So. Which one, if you were to say dog of the week out of the 6 Fosters that you have right now, which one do you love the most that you want to find a home for?
Probably,
I want you to pick your favorite.
I like that one.
I want to say Bruno. We've had him almost 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We got him at 8 weeks old, and he hasn't been adopted. And sadly, he has seizures now, but they're controlled with meds.
Okay.
And he's a great boy, super loving, does great in his kennel, but we call him a Tucson brown dog because there's so many brown dogs around Tucson.
Yeah.
They don't get adopted as much.
Right, because they blend into the dirt. They're camouflage. That's why there's so many, right? It's just it just keeps safe.
We've had him for so long. It'd be awesome for him to find his forever home and, just get loved. I mean, he gets loved at our house, but just...
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, you already have 6, and the goal is to keep bringing them in that need them and get them into the right homes. So, yeah, it's fantastic. You guys got to follow AZ Rescue Life on Instagram. It's AZ_rescue_life. And then you're going to see all these fantastic pictures of the rescues, the dogs that have been adopted, the dogs that they have for adoption, and now they have cats for adoption as well. And tonight, it's all going down at the TCC. You got to love your U of A Ice Cats. They're always wildly entertaining. They do great games there, and they're facing off against Colorado tonight at 7:30. And it's the Paws and Pucks night. So just for $5 at the door, you can buy a ticket for your dog, bring your dog along with you. Everyone in Tucson that is a dog owner loves bringing their dogs with them everywhere. This is a very dog-friendly town. And the TCC loves having dogs in the venue as well. I know this for a fact. Cleanup could be, sketch sometimes, but...
There will be a potty station outside for the dogs.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You thought of everything, huh? And this is the very first time. I'm glad it won't be the last time. I hope this is something that turns into an annual event. But we'd love to see as many people out there and their pups with them tonight at the TCC for U of A Wildcats versus Colorado. Again, it's 7:30 for the puck drop. So get there early, bring your dogs, $5. Proceeds benefit the rescue, and then check them out and follow them on Instagram as well. Is there anything else you can give a heads up for if anyone's in the market for looking for a dog or, needs a dog that needs rescued?
We have plenty, and we're always getting them, sadly. We're contacted daily to take in dogs and cats. So.
It gets hard because sometimes we have to turn them away because it's like we don't have the room at our house for it.
Right. You don't have a compound kennel, right? Yeah. This is out of your house and it's out of love. But, you guys are definitely doing good things. So we appreciate you. And, I look forward to tonight. I'll come out there for the game as well.
I love the Ice Cats, but low-key I was kind of sad because I thought it was the dogs playing hockey. And I was like, bro, I will buy so many tickets to that.
I know, because we were talking about even the Puppy Bowl off break, and you're like, what happened to the Puppy Bowl? The Puppy Bowl is still a thing, So the 21st annual Puppy Bowl is going to be happening on Super Bowl Sunday on so many channels. It's going to be on Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, TBS, True TV, Max, and Discovery at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll see, which team of puppies going to win the annual Puppy Bowl. Notably, there's 11 special need dogs that will participate, including Jolene, an American Pit Bull Terrier mix, competing in a wheelchair, which I feel like is giving her an advantage. Like that's got to be the running back, right? Just let Jolene. So the Puppy Bowl is happening, of course, February 9th, but don't forget Paws and Pucks happening tonight at 7:30. John and Bree, thank you guys so much for coming in and giving us the heads up on this.
Thank you.
I'll see you tonight. We're going to hit the reset on the FM side, talk foodie news with Shane from Tucson Foodie right after this. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Excellent. Thanks again, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Thank you guys for everything you do.
I'm gonna pop in and look at you can tell by the hair in the back there. We got Shane from Tucson Foodie. Oh, so we'll reset the table here. We'll reset the table. But John and Bree, thanks again. Let's take a picture before you get out of here.
All right.
For the rest of you guys, we're starting off the show this morning talking about a couple legends passing away. In case you missed it, went a little something like this. Check it out.
You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Friday, January 17th. Good morning, Valdez.
And Valdez.
And good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. We have a lot of people stopping by today. We promise have a good one going into a 3-day weekend because we won't be live on Monday. So we got to put our full force, all effort in having a fantastic show and entertaining you guys while you go into work and hopefully celebrate a 3-day weekend as well. You know, do you have any plans for a 3-day weekend?
Being a fat degenerate.
You know what I think I might do this weekend? You know, I need to, it's been a while since I had a mental reset. I think I might dose up on some psilocybin. Mushrooms, yeah. Just to meditate and reset my chakra. I swear to God, I'm a hippie, dude. But
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta realign it.
yeah, I'm just like, this might be the weekend. Like, I got an extra day to recover. I'm like, I just might sit Indian style for 6 hours and listen to Andre 3000's flute album while thinking about my life choices. That's going to be a good time.
Sail away, sail away.
Yeah, so I hope you guys got fun plans too. You know, we'll start off the day with a little bit of somber news. You know, I don't know if you guys were on social media. You might have seen, Bob Uecker pop up on your algorithm. And I was seeing like a bunch of clips like Norm Macdonald's famous impersonation and stories of Bob Uecker and, just little clips from Major League. I noticed you're wearing the Major League hat, Valdez. So yeah, I was seeing all these clips and just enjoying them, just kind of reminiscing about Bob Uecker, without even kind of looking into why I all of a sudden was starting to see him on my timeline. And then the unfortunate news came out that he passed away yesterday at the ripe old age of 90 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
That's a long time, bro.
That's a hell of a run. And I honestly, to be fair, I thought he passed away years ago. I did not know that he was still doing his, thing. He was still the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. It's just, he had such an iconic voice, and I loved hearing him. And I also loved him on Mr. Belvedere. Remember Mr. Belvedere?
Yes. Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah. So unfortunately, yes, Bob Uecker passed away, and that wasn't all because, the tragedy usually happens in bunches. Legendary director David Lynch passed away yesterday, too.
Him, too?
Yes, he was 78 years old, and he was a one-of-a-kind visionary when it came to, films. He did films like Eraserhead, The Elephant Man, Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, A Wild at Heart, Lost Hallway, the original movie version of Dune, and, of course, the TV show Twin Peaks.
Oh.
Yes. So he was iconic, and he was a very, he was a hipster before hipster was a thing. He was always kind of like an original thinker. He walked his own path. And, the Twin Peaks, of course, at a time when it was at its peak popularity, pretty much captivated the entire nation. The mystery, and I don't even think the mystery ever got solved. So it was all about going along on the journey, and they're like, we can't wait for the payoff. The payoff was like kind of pew, like it wasn't much, but the ride, had everyone's attention.
I
So
think we were in 4th grade when that show came out, so we weren't watching it. Our parents were.
I know I couldn't understand it. I would try to watch it because it would be parodied on like Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
and so I knew of it at the time, and if Rico was here, I'm sure he would say, "Oh, I've watched all the reruns like 17 times." There are people out there that swear by it. And then there was a movie released. I did watch the movie, and he was always like I said, he was a trip, an original thinker. And so both of these guys kind of like walked their own path. and were very individual. Like, Bob Uecker was such a character. David Lynch was a character himself. He could have actually just turned the camera around and just did all the movies with him starring in it because he was a one-of-a-kind type of personality. And Bob Uecker, again, just a legend and a man's man.
And he rips on himself for being like a horrible baseball player, but in reality, he was actually decent to make it to the pros and then to win a World Series. Like, he has a ring, but he never bragged. He just ripped on himself, and he was a funny guy.
He didn't put up like big stats though, right? He was a catcher, was he
Yeah,
not?
he was a catcher.
What team did he
Hell
play
of a
for?
hitter.
The
He
Brewers.
He was one of the first and only at that time Milwaukeean to be on the Milwaukee Braves back in the day when they were the Braves.
Okay, yeah. Well, he did die at 90 years old, so yeah. I mean, he's old. I mean, he always looked old, even in Major League.
He did when he was young. He still looked distinguished.
Yeah, so that's why I was the biggest surprise about that was that he was still alive, and but 90 years old, hell of a battle. He passed away of lung cancer, but at that point, it doesn't even matter. 90 years old, smoke away, champ.
We used to quote that when I play college ball, especially me as a catcher. I'm like, just a bit outside.
Right, exactly. That line, so iconic, and anyone who played baseball definitely repeated that over and over again. In fact, actually, he also, was the spokesperson for Miller Lite for quite some years.
That's right, the less feeling guy.
Yes, exactly. In fact, actually, I have an old commercial that I want to play for you real quick. Bob Uecker, a.k.a. Mr. Baseball. This was a Miller Lite commercial, and just to refresh your memory, check this out.
You know, one of the best things about being an ex-big leaguer is getting freebies to the game. Call the front office, bingo. And once these fans recognize me, I probably won't even have to pay for my light beer from Miller. Down it, I love them. These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh?
You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on.
Oh, I must be in the front row.
Come on.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Good seats, hey, buddy? He missed the tag! He missed the tag!
And he's up at the nosebleeds, but yeah, so self-deprecating, but still at the same time, you could tell that Bob Uecker, especially probably as a young man in his 30s and 40s, he was jocular, he was cool, he was like that kind of guy at the party, right?
I feel that commercial would be me when I go to a Coyotes game. I was like, I know beef. They're like, yeah, we got seats for you.
Roadrunners, and
Oh, yeah,
yes,
Roadrunners, sorry.
Yeah, we'll see.
In my heart.
Yeah, you come out on Monday. I'll put you up in the highest seat possible. Speaking of Roadrunners tickets, I will be hooking you up with Roadrunner tickets all week long because there's a ton of games happening all next week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, on the books, I only got one pair to give away, but I know a guy, so I definitely want to just basically hook people up every hour. So if you want to go out to a Roadrunners game next week and stuff, be ready to call 600-KFMA because I'm going to give you those opportunities to win. But we have so much to get to, so much fun stuff to make fun of. So let's just start playing some music. We got your morning more coming up after music from Bad Flower, kicking things off old school with Pearl Jam. Here's Jeremy on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go. Just a bit outside. Here we go. And we're back. JT Longo, thanks for those tickets you won on Monday. Yeah, congratulations, dude. And you're welcome, JT. Hope to see you out at the game. Make sure you guys say hi. Please welcome back to the show. It's been a minute. And you could tell by his hair level because your hair is about 3 inches more, with 3 inches more volume at the very least. We got Shane from Tucson Foodie. Good morning, brother.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back. man.
Very
course,
Kramer-esque.
Yeah, that's part of the style.
I also get, what's his name? Static.
Oh,
Static
yeah.
X, Wayne
Okay.
Static.
Wayne Static.
Yeah,
I
and
get that a
Static
lot.
X is
Yeah.
actually coming back to perform the Rialto Theater in March.
Oh.
Yeah, stay away from that show because people will be like, sign this, sign this. I thought you were dead, bro.
Maybe I could use that somehow.
They just need you just to stand on stage because I don't think the new singer of Static X, because Wayne passed away, unfortunately, but I don't think the new singer has the Wayne Static look. Now, if I was Static X, I would be like, just stand in the front and I'll sing right behind you.
Yeah.
Like Wizard of Oz it, if you will.
I'm going to go behind the building and do the whole, like, gun to the back of the head, knock him out.
Yes.
Put his clothes on and then go perform.
That would be sick. And nobody, it doesn't even matter if you can't scream that well. As long as you have the look, it'd be fine. Static X I saw them at the Mason Jar up in Phoenix. It's a club that fits like 250 people, right?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so it was
Intimate.
very hipster moments before they blew. And it was so loud. It was the loudest show I've ever been to. I legitimately thought at the time that my head was going to explode. I loved it though, but I was just like, oh my God, am I going to die listening to this? This is okay. It's a very metal way to go.
Good story, though.
Yeah, very good stuff, though. So we have a lot to cover in foodie news and national news, and our top story will be a fun one, talking about Progresso doing something very silly, but this is a legit thing that I didn't think we needed, but everyone knows when you get sick, and obviously the flu's going around, and there's all different types of viruses. We talked about the norovirus being the Ferrari of viruses, and that gives you violent diarrhea and
vomiting.
And
it's going around.
Yeah, the vomiting. I think a weirdo had it, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for the vomiting part, I would actually like lick a doorknob that had norovirus because I just want to flush out.
Oh yeah, like a free
Yeah.
cleansing.
Yeah.
Like a juice cleanse without all the juice.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
I mean, I've had
sure.
that. I think I got the norovirus or something like it from Mexico once, where it was just a combination of viruses where I came back from Rocky Point because I ate the Mexican combination on our way out, and it was a plate of food that was covered in iceberg lettuce, so it was a mystery of what I ordered. I didn't know. I couldn't read Spanish, and I just said, I'll take Mexican combination, and didn't know what the combination was, and even when they served it to me, I was like, I still don't know what this is. Let's discover what's underneath it. And there was a bunch of good food, and I was hungover, and I ate it. But when I got back I went number 3 about 10 times a day for the next 10 days.
Wow.
I never looked better. I mean, I was like,
oh, I see.
Yeah, I flushed.
Life hack tips from beef.
I'm telling you, I was like, I was
Get the flu.
Yeah, and it was good too. I didn't even mind it because you would sit down, erupt, and then it was like one wipe and you're good to go. It was just, I don't mean to be like
TMI.
Sorry, but it was very convenient, right? I was like, I just gotta go to the bathroom real quick. It was quicker than going number 1, right? I just sit down, poosh. All right, good to go. All right, and go back to the party.
Lifted you off the toilet seat.
Yeah, but so everyone.
So glad to be back on the show.
It's so classy. Now let's talk about food.
No,
good transition.
There is other stuff, and I will get classy. I promise you. But the point of that little tirade was that everyone knows when you get sick, chicken noodle soup is kind of like the way to go. That's grandma's amoxicillin. And, Progresso knows this, and they've unveiled a new product. But it's the tagline that I'm not a fan of. And I'll explain here why in just 1 second. Let's get on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're here with Shane from Tucson Foodie. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back on the show, man.
Thanks for being had, dude. We're very excited to catch up with you. Of course, the return of the Tucson Foodie beer craft crawl.
A Tucson craft beer crawl.
Craft beer crawl, yeah. I knew there was some alliteration in there. That's happening in February. We're going to talk about that, plus other top foodie news locally here, and some accolades that we got from the BBC for the entire city of Tucson. Whoa. And honestly, if it wasn't for, like websites and social media like Tucson Foodie, I don't know if we'd be on the radar. But before we get into all that, I do want to talk about national news. As I was saying, with the flu going around, all these different viruses, we know that the standard of like when you get sick, if your mother was saying, hey, you're sick, eat some chicken noodle soup. That will help boost your immune system and help you get over the cold. Now, Progresso knows this. They sell chicken noodle soup every flu season. They probably get a spike in sales. But would you try this? Chicken noodle soup cough drops. Yeah.
Candy.
Yeah, I don't think they make them sweet. This is a legitimate thing. They debuted this soup-flavored cough drops for National Soup Month, and they're called soup drops, and they're not medicated in any way. They're technically marketed as soup-flavored candy, but somehow that's even grosser, right? And they announced them yesterday, and they sold out immediately because the internet is weird.
That's some Willy Wonka stuff right there, man.
It is.
Good point.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, turkey gravy. Remember that scene?
It's the appetizer part of the gobstopper.
Oh, they don't look good.
No, they don't look good. In fact, I got a picture of this too.
Oh.
They look like stale Werther's Originals or something, right?
Dude, this motto,
that's the reason why I brought it up, Shane, because
the catchphrase is so good.
Yes. For 20, you get 20 soup drops for $2.49 plus $1 shipping. They're doing another, release of this, but it is the slogan that I have an issue with. It's Progresso soup drops, soup you could suck on.
Soup you can suck on. Hey, can we hear that in Spanish?
Yeah.
How do you say that in Spanish?
Oh, give me a second. Come back to me.
Come on, Valdez. Your last name's Valdez.
You know how to say suck on in Spanish. Come on.
Sopa para mamar.
So hot, dude. Yeah. So soup you could suck on is what they're selling, and that was the catchphrase some marketing guy probably got a bonus for. They're like, oh yeah, that's it. They probably had like 10 different suggestions. What are we going to name this, or how are we going to sell this? And then someone's like, soup you could suck on? Yeah.
That works. Roll it.
Yeah. Call me Soup Dog. What's up?
Suck my soup.
All right, yeah. So obviously, it's not a joke. It's not April Fool's, and this is something you can get yourself some soup you could suck on at Progresso.com. But that is our national news story. We got a lot of local foodie news happening, including where the BBC ranked Tucson as far as places to visit in the entire world.
Entire world.
Yeah, and we actually ranked pretty good. We'll talk about that with Shane on the podcast broadcast right after music from Pop Evil. Here's what remains on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Yeah, I was like, see, that's the reason soup you could suck on. You're like, that's ridiculous, man.
Genius. It's marketing genius.
I want to try it.
Of course you do.
I want to suckle some chicken
Soup you can choke on.
I was trying to pull up the BBC thing. I think I shared it on our Instagram as well, because I thought that was big news. Obviously, BBC ranking Tucson number 7 in the entire world of places to visit in 2025, which
Crazy.
does seem odd. You're a world traveler, right? You've been to some places?
I've been to a lot of places.
Yeah, like what are some of the nicest places you've been to?
I mean, I could probably make a case that we deserve to be on this list.
Because of the food.
But I've been all over the place.
Okay.
All over Asia, Europe, Africa, like a bunch of different, probably like 100 countries. I did a bunch of consulting
Really?
for Coca-Cola, and I got to travel all over the place.
Oh,
Yeah, it was great.
wow.
So what is the main job description for a Coca-Cola consultant?
Corporate innovation.
Yeah, okay.
I was helping them launch new products. Yeah.
Really? Like different like Coke Zero and things like that?
Like, soup you can choke on. And
I know. Did you get jealous of that catchphrase? Like, shit, man. I was working for like 15 years for Coca-Cola.
News.
Never came up
Tucson
with this.
Foodie, news you can choke on. Food news, you can suck it.
Yeah. So what place out of all the places you traveled to for work stuck out to you as like, not only beautiful, but some of the best food that you ever had while you were out there?
Ooh, India, probably.
Really?
Went to Mumbai for Coke, and then I got to travel all around India, and it was just so beautiful. And the food.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously
so
Indian
good.
food, but
But better.
yeah.
But real.
Yeah. So if I was to go to India tomorrow, what do you suggest that I order?
I would suggest you just eat street food.
Yeah, just any kind of street food, but they don't do any kind of beef because they worship cows there, right? So, so what's street food there?
You put me on a spot. I've been to a lot of places. I'm mixing it up in my mind with like some Egyptian street food that I had that was amazing. Falafel on the street. Way
Yeah.
better than any falafel I've ever had.
Okay.
So good. Over here, it's like brown.
Yeah.
It's like green over there.
Is it?
It's beautiful. It's fresh. It tastes so good.
Nice. Well, that actually kind of reminds me of the falafel that is at Angie's Prime, because that was kind of green.
Sorry, my microphone's.
Or your
chopping on me.
headphones
Do
are
I sound
messing
good?
with you?
I sound okay?
You've been sounding fine, yeah. It's your headphones, not the mic. But
There's these little gosh, I wish I could remember the name of them, but they're these little fried things in India, and they're look like a tiny little hockey puck,
Yeah.
and they're filled with a bunch of stuff, and they're lightly fried, and you put the whole thing in your mouth, and it explodes like a gusher.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there something inside it, like a cream or
And
something?
It's hard and crispy. No, they put sauces in there. There's they fill them with all kinds of different things. But,
Yeah.
they fill them with like vegetables and meat and cream, and so they're savory. They're not
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that does sound awesome.
I'll find the name of it. It's like a chait something.
I want to eat a deep fried hockey puck.
Well, that's why Anthony Bourdain, he was ahead of his time because he's going to all these places. Like street food's where it's at. And in fact, actually, before he passed away, he was trying to create like a street food market in New York City that would have been, first of its kind of like cuisines all over the world.
I'm talking about pani puri.
Pani Puri, Rock 102.1 KFMA. I was asking Shane because he's traveled all over the world when he had a corporate job. And, I was asking if we went to India. India was one of his favorite places to go to because of its beauty and its delicacies. and he was telling us about this like hockey puck like falafel called pani puri that was stuffed with like meats or vegetables or something that would explode in your mouth like a gusher.
So good.
Yeah, look at that. Verbatim, I just repeated all that stuff. I'm literally drooling.
I have nothing more to add, Beef.
Hey, well, these are your words. I'm just repeating them in a sexier way. All right, so, but the reason why we asked him, because he did travel all over the place, because the BBC announced Tucson the 7th best place to visit in the world in 2025.
We beat Hawaii.
We beat Hawaii, dude.
Yeah, we're the number 1 place in the United States to travel to, according to the BBC.
That is crazy. Yeah. But what was the reason?
We beat Morocco.
We beat Morocco.
I'd rather go to Morocco.
Well, it's because we're here in Tucson. We get to experience Grant Avenue all the time. We take it for granted. But there it is. Yeah. Okay. I'll be here all morning. But yeah. So, what were the reasons why they put us above Morocco and Hawaii?
Our multinational history, our deep-rooted Native American culture, making it special. Our events. We just have tons of events. They mentioned some of those. They mentioned some of the cool architecture, the hiking.
Yeah.
Right? The amazing desert, the Sonoran Desert. And, of course, our city of gastronomy. They have there's only 2 paragraphs about it, and the second paragraph is all about the food here.
Yeah, and I honestly think, it's got to be about the food, really, because, not only the Mexican cuisine, but the Native American cuisine, and it being, like Tucson Mexican food ruined Mexico's Mexican food for me. There's only a couple places I'll go to where I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. But the rest of it, I'm just like, that's not that good, man. You guys need to go up 100 miles to the north because they're doing it right up here.
I would say that Tucson's Mexican food is the best in the Sonora region for sure. But, you go to Oaxaca and stuff. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, I
guess it's just different,
Yes. Well, because Central Mexican, like Mexico City, Mexican food is different than Sonoran Mexican food.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't even realize that because there's regions in Mexico where the food varies and flavors and ingredients. But yes, just because we're a city of gastronomy and we have fantastic Mexican food, they're like, skip Hawaii, skip the Bahamas, and skip the white sand beaches. You don't need them. What you need is carne asada and birria tacos. Go to Tucson.
520, baby.
I mean, food is one of the number 1 reasons people travel.
Yeah.
I travel for food. So
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, you're a pro at it. And in fact, actually, because Tucson Foodie continues to do the Lord's work here locally as far as giving their followers a heads up of some of the best places in town to eat, and also doing the Tucson Foodie Insider Club, giving people discounts and having all these specialty nights where you're having tastings. And what was the last Tucson Foodie dinner that you just threw?
The last one was at Charro Vida.
Okay, Charro
They
Vida.
totally redid their menu. They're changing things up, right? And it's gotten way better and delicious. So we did one there to try it out, and then they did an amazing job. I was really impressed.
Yeah, well, what kind of blew you away? What was one of the things you had? You were like, oh, very good.
Dude, they had this mushroom taco that tasted nothing like any mushroom taco I've ever had.
Okay.
And I eat meat now, Beef. I'm
welcome back.
I'm not just vegan anymore.
I knew that hair looked different.
You knew that. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, look
the hair got
bolder,
taller.
healthier. Yes.
I filled out a little bit. My voice got deeper.
There you go, man.
So yeah, did the mushroom taco taste like a carne asada, or did it take like a meat like?
Had its own flavor. I don't know. It was just delectable.
Okay.
I don't know. Go eat it. Go eat it, please.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Shout out Chef Gary. Shout out Charro in general. A restaurant that's been getting a lot of local press. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Hambbones, the meat in 3.
Yeah, you got to go. Have you been?
Not yet.
Let's go together.
Okay, yeah. I was actually invited out last weekend by Chef Gary for a lunch just try it out. But yeah, so you've had it.
Yeah.
What did you order when you were at Hambbone's Meat in 3? Because it's a concept that's like just soul food, right?
Well, it's a meat in 3. Do you know what a meat in 3 is?
Well, I feel like I do just based off of what I've seen, and they make it pretty simple.
Yeah.
You pick a meat and you get 3 sides.
That's pretty much how it is. They're all over the South. I spent a lot of time in Georgia. Meat in 3s are everywhere. Church crowd goes out afterwards, and you just get in line. They give you like a tray.
Yeah.
And you just say, I want the roast and the mac and cheese and the collard greens and the black-eyed peas, but it tastes amazing.
Yeah, really.
So he really nailed it. I mean, the cornbread is incredible over there. He's got his recipes down.
Considering that you've had real soul food in the birthplace origin of soul food, this is comparable, and he did it justice.
Oh yeah, for sure. It took me. I was telling him I got transported back to my childhood. Grew up in Missouri.
Yeah,
we had a lot of really good soul food and Southern food in Missouri. So he really nailed all the recipes. Everything was fantastic. My favorite thing was the the chicken and dumplings.
The chicken and
which
dumplings,
is just a Tuesday special. He does a special every day.
Okay.
And if you're into chicken, go on a Tuesday. He's got fried chicken and he's got chicken and dumplings, and those dumplings, amazing.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I was also looking at the pot roast because I don't remember the last time I had a pot roast at a restaurant, or especially in a kind of like a fast casual restaurant, if you will.
Yeah, I didn't even get a bite, actually. So we went the whole team.
Yeah.
The whole foodie team went down, and we ordered one of everything.
Okay, good. So the catfish, they have vegetarian options?
They didn't have catfish that day. Yeah, they got some veggie stuff. We ate it all.
Okay, yeah.
But Addie Ibarra, my head of community, she got the pot roast put in front of her, and then nobody got any.
Okay, so she just scarfed it.
She loved it.
It looks good because it looks like, it's so tender. You see it in the clip on Tucson Foodie's Instagram page where it just kind of tears apart with a fork, and then that's like smothered with some gravy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks awesome. And that's an East Side delicacy, huh? It's on Craycroft?
Yeah, it's right next to Mama Luisa's.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So Hambbone's Meat and 3 is a brand new restaurant there on the East Side, getting a lot of buzz. And if you haven't tried soul food, this is the spot to obviously try it out because they do it justice.
And if you like Saguaro Corners, that's the same chef, right? It's Chef CJ Ham. He was at Saguaro Corners for a long time. Okay. Now this is his spot.
Nice.
He's very talented.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't wait. That mac and cheese looks amazing too. My daughter's a huge mac and cheese person, right? She'll order it anywhere we go. So I could go here and eat some pot roast, and then she could just load up on mac and cheese and Kool-Aid. Fantastic.
Yeah, they have Kool-Aid on tap.
I love it.
Kool-Aid on tap, baby.
Yeah.
You know who else has Kool-Aid?
Cheap Hut.
What's his Mr. K's barbecue.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so that's our restaurant of the week. When we come back, of course, Tucson Foodie puts together events in town, returning with the craft beer crawl, which is always a good time. We're going to get the details, how you score yourself tickets to that event, and so much more. You can join us, youtube.com/bevegan, or keep it right here, because we got music on the way from Lincoln Park on Rock 102.1. Clear. All right. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for helping out Hambbones.
Of course. Well, yeah. I mean, everyone is.
He deserves it.
I literally see it everywhere, dude. We talked about Chef Travis joining Transplant Pizza. I thought that's cool because I live right by Transplant.
Yeah, and Cereal Grillers, which is the same company. You realize that?
Yeah. When I was reading on it on Tucson Foodie, they were the same owners, which makes sense because at times I don't think, I didn't know if Transplant was doing that well. I don't see him that busy. I've had Transplant. I had their elote pie. Some of it's a little too doughy, because it's on the focaccia bread.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, it's Detroit style.
It is Detroit style, yeah. And that's good when you're ready for it, But if you're trying to not be such a fatty fat fuck.
We'll just go get Ranonavirus. Ranonavirus.
No, it's norovirus.
I know. I'm making a joke.
Oh, okay.
Bad joke. Because there's Rono. What's the other one?
Corona?
No, there's Noro, and then there's Ronovirus.
Ronovirus.
RSV.
There's MPH. Nope, I fucked it up. All right.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
They're all viruses. We'll all get them eventually, All right, well, let's do our viral video here of the week. Speaking of food, not only humans are foodies, but so are coyotes. Here's a fun fact. Coyotes can jump over 6-foot walls. Did you know that? Yeah.
Wow.
Read that on Reddit.
Bastards, aren't
So
they?
a coyote could jump right over my head. Maybe not the hair.
It's not going to clear the hair. You're 6'5" with the hair, 6'1" naturally. All right, but you saw this where this is a very odd scenario, especially considering the location it was at. This is in Chicago. There's coyotes in Chicago.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought they were kind of like native to desert regions, but I should have known better because I play Red Dead Redemption, and their coyotes are everywhere in that game. But this went viral because a coyote just went straight into an Aldi grocery store, which is like a Fry's, and it was a smart coyote. Immediately went to the produce section, or to just load up in the fridge, and they had to try to get this son of a bitch out.
It's so mangy looking too.
Oh yeah, you don't want to mess with this one. This is like
I think it used to be a human. It's like a
gotta be maybe
shapeshifter.
Yeah, just worked at the Aldi. Like, give me a mop. I'll figure this out.
Okay, go ahead.
Watch out.
No plan, by the way.
No plan whatsoever. Just grabbed by his tail. Good luck. Oh, now there's a rabbit coyote loose. Oh, going right back into the produce section.
He dives right back in.
Yeah, and that's when the person who's filming put down the phone and ran for their lives. So, yeah.
The guy next to him's like, no big deal, nothing's going on here.
You got
It's
this,
fine.
Carl? You got this? Yeah, you got this. He's a pro. Good coyote wrangler.
What has he got? He's got a broom?
Yeah, he's got a broom, and the other guy's got a sweeper.
So I guess Chicago PD doesn't provide catch poles.
No, I mean, he's got the taser. Just tase the dog. But I guess animal rights activists not like that.
A healthy looking coyote.
He's a big one.
I would have wrestled him.
I don't doubt that, actually. You're a manly man. All right. So, obviously, we got a lot going on here. Earlier this morning, we had to catch up with Justin Spears for two things. One, of course, it's the biggest weekend in football, because with this weekend of playoff games, you got all the heavy hitters all just fighting out 4 games, 2 games each day, Saturday and Sunday. So, for football fans, it is the most fun weekend. And then, of course, so we had to talk about picks, but even more importantly, since Bob Uecker passed away, we talked about Major League and the history of Tucson in Major League, because Tucson's featured in the first half of the movie. And in case you missed it, well, a little something like this. Check it out. Every single day as kind of like not my protest song, but my anthem, being like, I love this song that much. You guys are going to love it here eventually. And sure enough, it continues to grow in popularity, slow but sure. But you heard it here first.
will love it.
Yes. I recognize a great song when I hear one. In studio, very special guest, good friend of the show. He is co-host of Spears and Ali on ESPN 1490, and the one and only Justin Spears. Good morning, Justin.
Mr. Vegan, how are you?
Good, dude. I want to get into what I consider the biggest weekend in NFL. A lot of people, of course, they always get excited about the Super Bowl, but, this round of the playoffs where you get 2 Saturday games, 2 Sunday games is seriously like the best games of the year each and every year. So I want to get into that in the favorites, but before we do that, obviously the legendary baseball announcer Bob Uecker passed away at the age of 90. He has Tucson ties because of the movie Major League. Right? Is there any legend of Bob Uecker here in Tucson that you've recalled of people talking about or sightings here in Tucson?
Not really.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about Bob Uecker in Tucson, but like you said, Major League filmed here in Tucson. You can look at pretty much the first half of the movie when they're training for spring training. It's at High Corbett Field, and if you look in the background on the outfield walls, you got all sorts of Tucson businesses that you could probably recognize.
Yeah, so historic. Yeah, like in fact, actually, if you're just looking to watch a throwback this weekend, put on Major League and then try to spot all the businesses that are still around in town and the ones that aren't anymore. We were debating whether or not an EG sign is in there, which I would assume there would be, right?
I think there is an EG sign, maybe, but we have like American West Airlines. I think there's a KFC bucket that you can hit a home run into, and if you get it, you win $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool signage at High Corbett Field. Signage that is definitely much different now.
Yeah.
Not as many ads.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, yeah. I mean, why are you going to advertise in a place that nobody's going?
And fun fact, I don't think I've ever told anybody this. I talked to Terry Francona, Arizona Wildcat, Arizona baseball legend.
Yeah.
Won World Series, right, with the Indians and also the Red Sox. And I asked Terry Francona, I'm like, hey, this year being last year, is the 35th anniversary, I think, of Major League coming out. You're the manager of the Indians. Why? And you have the Terry Francona hitting center right over the right field wall. Why not have kind of like the Field of Dreams game that they do in Major League Baseball?
Yes.
Have the Indians play like the Diamondbacks or the A's or the Yankees or something like that at High Corbett Field to honor Major League. I think
So
it'd be
you tried.
awesome.
You gave him a hard pitch.
And he said, believe me, I've already tried. They said no. They said no. I'm like, Terry Francona, you and I are on the same page. I love it.
Great minds think alike, and yeah, you definitely have a great mind. Well, let's talk about. All right, we are back. All right, Shane's a busy man, being owner, CEO of Tucson Foodie. He's probably delegating right now. He's probably saying, "Yeah, you go out and you cover that. You pick up some leftovers here."
I just invited Chris Koch, the local hot wings expert, to go down to Barrio Brewing with me and eat these together.
Bro, why don't you invite me too?
Oh,
I'm
sure.
I'm a goddamn
Okay.
expert, dude.
I thought you were vegan.
No.
Oh, wait, your beef.
Yeah. In fact, I would change if I would change my name to any food. It would probably be chicken wing. I ate a dozen last night for dinner. Rock 102.1 KFMA. I probably eat, and I tried to do the math on this.
I remember
recently, yeah, because I eat at least a dozen chicken wings a week. Right? It's in my diet. It's been part of my diet since I was a young man. When I was like 10 years old, I was already like putting an entire wing in my mouth and just spitting out bones.
That's the best way to do it.
Yes.
Competitive eating 10-year-old.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna try Barrio Brewing's Hot Ones connection, which they just announced they're doing in collaboration of, which is fantastic, then you gotta invite me. I'm a chicken wing expert. In fact, actually, you invited a chef.
No, Chris isn't a chef. No, he's the local Tucson wings expert. He eats wings every week and reviews them on his Instagram.
Yeah, just because he does it on his Instagram and he calls himself that, it's not. Look,
Dude,
all due respect. All due respect.
The only difference between someone who's an expert and someone isn't is that they call themselves an expert.
Right. Yeah, I
So
got an
boom, he's
Instagram
the
following as well.
But
and
he has done like over 100 reviews in town. So
Okay. Well, then,
been doing it for a while.
Yeah, rest in peace his anus, because I'm sure it's, scorched earth at that point. And I've done chicken wing eating contests, right, where I've had ghost pepper wings that literally I thought it was going to die from.
To wear rubber gloves.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
And the kid who won, I got second place by the, and I was smart enough to be able, because I had the rubber gloves, it came out with like a black paste, because this guy heated up the ghost peppers to make them even hotter. The scorch level was through the roof. And I knew I was in for it, but I was smart enough to scrape the sauce off the wing before I ate it. It was still crazy hot. The kid next to me who ended up winning, he didn't do that. So he ended up just going all in, going, rah, rah, rah. And then when we were done, he wiped his face off. He had like third-degree burns all over his face. He looked like the Joker. So the next couple of days, they were the most excruciating days of my life, okay? And you could use your own imagination for that.
I am.
And while it was happening, I was like, there's no way this kid survived. This kid had to have died. There's no way. Because
I think you actually won.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I did win.
You lost.
Yeah, I got a girlfriend after that, and too, because she was, she felt empathy for me.
Oh, poor baby. I'll take care of you.
Yes. I'm like, put aloe on my O-ring, please.
They were so hot.
But yes, okay, so Hot Ones is doing, or Barrio Brewing is doing a collaboration with Hot Ones. The First We Feast, we all know about the interview show on YouTube, but how is this an official collaboration, and what does this really mean?
Well, I mean, you can go down to bar starting, was it yesterday? So it's available now. You can go down to Barrio Brewing and you can taste the sauces that they feature on the show, which is what I always want to do, because everyone watches the show and they think, I could do that.
Right.
Right? So prove it. You can get them on wings. You can get them on spicy crispy chicken sandwiches. And they've got like 6 different sauces you can try.
That's awesome, dude. And this is an official collaboration, right? So
it's official.
Yeah.
I don't know how the relationship came to be, but this is actually a pop-up from the actual show, Hot Ones, down at Barrio Brewing, which is pretty cool.
I didn't know Barrio Brewing was offering food. How long have they been doing that? Always?
They have a huge menu.
Really?
I've been going there for years.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I mean, I'm always there for just like the beer and, of course, the craft beer crawl, which you guys host each and every year. So, yeah, if the wings are anything like the pictures that I'm seeing on Tucson Foodie, then I'm all in. And you can tell your wing expert, there's a new wing expert in town. He's coming. And,
okay, we should call it a showdown between you and Chris.
A wing showdown. See who could deal with the hotness better.
Yeah. You might just defame him, and he might lose his entire status.
I might have bit off more than I could chew, to be honest with you.
That's a good food
I might be instantly regretting me running my mouth in the first place. Shout out, Chris. You're doing the Lord's work. All right, let's talk about the Tucson Craft Beer Crawl, which is returning this February. This is now, what, the 4th? 7th? Because, I mean, you took a break during COVID.
Yeah, well, I didn't run it before then. I took it over after. So it happened a bunch before.
Okay.
But this year's going to be amazing, man. Tickets are flying, actually.
Yeah, I bet.
Good.
You sell out every year on this, don't you?
Yeah, but the tickets usually don't sell this fast. So over 20% of the tickets are gone. We usually sell like 5% of the tickets right now. So they're just flying.
Nice.
So I'm really excited. We've got new venues.
Okay, yeah. So usually the Craft Beer Crawl, it's downtown. Like we did a live podcast there at Barrio, actually, as like the home base. But you're saying you have new venues that are all part of this. How many venues in total?
There's 9 venues.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Everything from like Trackside down to the new Corbetts over to Borderlands. We're going to have a main spot there. Sonoran Moonshine is a new spot on the crawl. And we got a bunch of new beers as well.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So when you buy a ticket, how much are tickets first off?
Tickets are $50.
And that's the early bird prices right now?
No, early bird's over.
Okay. So $50, and then that gives you a cup. And then with that, you're going around to the crawl. And is that like almost unlimited fills? What's the amount of pours you get?
No, it's a beautiful little commemorative glass. Okay, it's not a cup. All
I'm
right,
sorry,
it's a
I
gorgeous
apologize.
glass that costs several dollars.
Okay.
Anyway,
I still have mine from last year. I treasure it.
Nice.
you know what's different this year? Usually last year we gave you 30 drink tickets, and so
Yeah.
you got 32-ounce pours, which is 60 ounces of beer.
Yeah.
Most people can't get through it all. This year, it's unlimited sampling from all the breweries at all the different spots.
Ooh, now we're talking, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, take the training wheels off. You know, I'm a man. I'll let you know when I've had enough, and it's usually about 54 ounces, but still.
We had you covered last year. So all the good ones are participating again, like Crooked Tooth, Dragoon, all the locals, Moda Sonora. But with Slow Body's joining this year. Have you been down to Slow Body yet? New brewery in town?
No.
Quickly, one of my favorites.
Is it a good environment?
It's a beautiful environment. It's a gorgeous warehouse. Screwbean is jumping in this time for the first time. And we got Flagstaff Brewery coming down. We got all across the state. In fact, we invited every brewery from in Arizona.
How many breweries in total are going to be participating in this?
So far, we got 28, but we got more coming in. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. And that starts off, that's on February 22nd. So I assume that's a Saturday, right?
It's Saturday. It's 1 to 6. So usually 1 to 5, but we extended an hour to give you more time to drink more beer.
Nice. And then it's a crawl. So how far from point A to point Z, so to speak?
I don't know, but it's all downtown between 4th and Congress.
Okay, yeah. So you're just going around there. So you're just going to literally be taking that over. Is there a spot or a venue that is kind of like the hub?
I'd say Borderlands.
Borderlands
They're
again?
our biggest partner. We usually put 7 beers there, and we get live music. We got a band. We don't have it booked yet. Don't ask.
Okay.
But it's coming.
Okay.
Actually, we're going to have live music at all the venues at different times throughout the crawl.
Nice.
DJs and live music. And then we're going to have like photo booths. And I think we're going to do some weird games and stuff this year, like maybe like a basketball shot clock competition.
Okay.
there you go.
Things
Basketball
like
shot.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you need a game master, I know someone who does games pretty well, professionally and stuff. It's not a big deal, you know.
Who? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I come up with games. Have you ever heard my game, You Got Boned? You Got Boned is a fantastic game.
I'd like to play that game.
You would like to play that game. But again, it's going to cost you a couple VIP passes to this
Done.
beer crawl.
Done.
Oh, wait, I wasn't done in my negotiation, dude.
Oh, okay. What else do you want?
I'll send my rider over to your team, and we'll get it approved ASAP. But I am excited about this because, you know, obviously February 22nd, it's usually such a beautiful day. And to do a craft beer crawl, and this thing continues to grow. It's a great social event, and for those out there, beer connoisseurs, or just like to go out and socialize, I know there's going to be lots of food there as well, too, right? Because you can't have all this beer without some delicious eats. What are some of the food vendors that are going to be participating?
Well, we're going to have a hot dog cart, TBD, over at Trackside. We've got Mafia Kitchen coming with their cannolis. We're going to book a couple more food trucks. I'm going to book some new food trucks that they've just opened within the past like 6 months, so we can try some new stuff. And then a lot of the venues along the crawl have food that you can get. So
that's true. Yeah. Excellent. Well, you obviously get your tickets now. TucsonFoodie.com. The early bird tickets are gone, but only for $50. And again, that's unlimited pours. Comes with a commemorative glass. And yeah, you're just going to want to show up there early and enjoy the day because day drinking is my personal favorite. You know,
I got to mention, if you're a Tucson Foodie member, it's 50% off your ticket.
Oh, so it's only $25.
Only $25.
Okay, so last year, what was your guesstimation of how many people showed up for the craft beer crawl?
We had about 1,400 people last year. I think we'll have 1,600 this year.
Yeah. Look at it grow. You know what? You're doing such a good job. TucsonFoodie.com, of course, for all your local foodie news. That craft beer crawl is happening on February 22nd, so make those plans today. We got music on the way for Smashing Pumpkins and more coming up right after this. It's Rock 102.1. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so You Got Boned. Let me pitch you Got Boned.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's my game. I did this for our holiday party.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, and because my GM was like, hey, we want to come up with a couple games to give away stuff. And I'm like, okay. I was like, this would be a great, I was watching Squid Games, and I was like, this is a good way to kind of like psychologically get people to kind of fuck people over and start some riffs, right? Because internally in this building, you know, there's people that secretly hate each other. So I'm like, let's get around and do this.
Okay.
Okay, so the game, it involved dominoes and what it was. And so what you would do is you would flip over a domino. Okay, if your domino has a 6 on it, then you have to eliminate somebody from the table.
Okay.
And you say you got boned, right? So you get them out of the game.
Oh, bones, because dominoes are called bones.
Thank you. Right? So it's a clever pun, but it's not as dirty as you think. But then it's a catchphrase, which is funny. Like, you got boned, that means you're out. If you flip over the double 6, then you're out.
Oh.
Yes. But if you flip over anything else, then you're safe. So basically, people are going around. You can play with unlimited people. I think I pitched this for the holiday party, your holiday party 2 years ago. But then, yeah, this is a good. It was actually very entertaining, not only to play but to watch, because then you're sitting around like, who's this person going to eliminate? And then you got to shout out the the fun catchphrase, things like that.
I see. Yeah, so that's the big decision when you flip over that 6.
Yes.
Am I going to bone somebody that I hate?
Yes.
Or am I going to bone somebody that I like? Or
yeah, am I going to bone somebody who I don't like the look of I don't like the cut of their jib?
Yeah.
Or am I going to bone the hot girl who I don't have a chance with? So you're out of here. You're way too hot. You're out. Like whatever the case. Or do I have to bone my best friend? There's so many different variables of you got boned. It's a good pitch.
I like it. We should play that. It's fun.
I'm telling you.
Let's do it.
There's numerous games you could do. I'm kind of the game master. What are you pointing at Valdez for something?
What did I do?
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and I could have Valdez wearing sunglasses behind me the entire time as I host You Got Boned as the muscle.
There you go.
Because then it adds an intimidation factor.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So nobody could try to get away with not boning somebody. Like, sorry. This guy's gonna bone you if you don't bone somebody else.
So I'm the bone police. I have to like make sure people get boned.
He's part of my bone brigade.
And what if you like you bone somebody and then like their fiance or friend bones you later?
Exactly, revenge.
Oh, so you got to think like 3 steps ahead.
Absolutely.
Better not bone him because
it's a psychological game, which is very popular now. I don't know if you watch Beast Games on Amazon Prime.
No.
Well, obviously season 2 of Squid Games came out, but Beast Games is basically a variation of that. Same thing. What you're seeing with these reality competition games is more psychological games that really like screw people over. So like a situation where in Beast Games, at the beginning of the game, they had everyone stand in like 10 rows of like 20, right?
How do you spell Beast Games?
Beast.
Oh, Beast Games.
Yeah, like Mr. Beast.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's great because then he'll say, he'll throw out an offer. He'll be like, hey, for $10,000 to the first person who claims it, but you're going to eliminate your entire row. Yes, right? So then everyone's looking around and they're like, don't do it, man. We're playing for like $60 million. It's like, it's an insane cash pot, right? But now it's like he's playing with people's psychology, the levels of greed. How much do you trust? Are you going to screw someone over? Are you going to try to take the high road and win nothing? And there's various examples of what him doing that throughout these games is such a mind F, and it's actually wildly entertaining. Yeah. So basically, I'm the Mr. Beef of Tucson.
Beef Games.
Beef Games.
There we go.
Beef Games, honestly, in one of the locations
You should start that.
Not a bad like brand and bill. It'd be good cross promotion.
I think it could get so big we'll do it down at TCC.
Well,
Have tens of thousands of people come out. Who wants to play?
If I got
people running down.
If I got the money, but I mean, my name's right there. It's low hanging fruit. I could literally do like.
Welcome to Beef Games, where contestants will play for a jackpot of $5.
Well, if we could try to comprise some sponsorship for prizes, and then host a round of Beef Games somewhere like Borderlands, as one of the features, I think that would just add to. I didn't invite you in here just to like put myself into one of your events, but
I think it's awesome.
Is it not a bad idea?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Beef Games.
Yeah, see? And Lindsay said, it had me at Beef's Bone Brigade. Bone Brigade is actually a old school skater crew. So I kind of stole that. And thank you for the great show as always, Beef Vegan Presents. Tomcat. Here's a fun fact for you guys real quick before we get back on the air. So yesterday I was asked from our marketing director to come up with numbers of our podcasting stats of the last year. Now, corporate's asking for everybody. Now, no one really does podcasting in the rest of the cluster, so their numbers aren't even worth mentioning, to be honest with you, and that's not a dig. I was surprised to find this, so I'm like, well, it's difficult to gauge because Facebook only lets you look back like 28 days, but we do really well on our Facebook streams. They continue to grow, especially if I, A, don't vape, and B, don't curse within the first 15 minutes. Sometimes I shadow ban myself because I'm a maniac, right? I'm learning, I'm growing, maturing, if you will. So with that, though, I look at our YouTube numbers for the last 365 days, and I was like, oh, okay, this is not too bad as growing this up. Now, we're almost up to 2,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you're watching this on the replay, please subscribe. We're close, and that's just like, a round number. There's nothing that would change. We don't get like a badge or a high five or a dollar or anything. It'd just be cool to have that 2 there in the front, so we're very close to that. But with that, the numbers that we had here, as I'm stalling, okay, right here. I want to get them right. Okay, so our number of views that we had just last year, which is up 35% more than the previous year. So
Nice
that's
growth.
always a good metric. Yeah, and it's good growth. 35 to 50% would be nice. 595,264 views.
Boom.
365 days. And you keep in mind, like, there was a couple weeks that we just took off, various, pretty much every weekend and everything else. So lots of spikes there. And then as far as our live viewership is concerned, and this is all because of you guys continuing to come back and ride with us and watch us live, and you seeing those numbers vary. We had, during the live stream alone, just the live stream alone, 29,360 or 52 live streams.
impressive.
People watching only live. And I did the math, basically there's about 250 days of the year that are weekdays minus the holidays, right? So averaging about like 120 live viewers live stream, which is fucking fantastic, guys. Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Yeah. So it's
Good
the little
numbers.
things, baby steps.
Now, did you tell them that? What was their reaction?
Oh, I was like,
Corporate.
well, no, I don't know what the corporate reaction is yet. I'm waiting to find out. But I asked Summer, I was like, so how's that compare to, everyone else? Because the reason why they're asking is because corporate pays for podcasting services for all the other stations but mine.
Oh, great.
So all my numbers that I provided through the StreamYard that I pay for myself is 100% out of my pocket, not theirs, right? So they pay thousands of dollars a year for podcasting services for everything else. I'm going to turn off the mic here for this one.
I'm sure they got some shows that do less, right?
Here's the numbers, and you're not allowed to hear this.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
That exactly. So they're spending, and I don't say it on the stream, but they're spending thousands of dollars for the, and those are the numbers that they pulled collectively. Collectively.
Doesn't make sense.
For the entire year.
Does not compute.
Yeah, and so she's got to present my numbers next to their numbers and be like, well, you pay for this, you don't pay for that. He's doing this, well, you're not paying for, and they're doing that you are paying for. It's going to be an interesting conversation. I want to be on a fly on the wall in that scenario. Yeah. All right, we got one last segment here, and we're live on the air, Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents, hanging out here with Shane. In fact, actually, at this point, you could say we're holding him hostage because I know he wanted to like dip out at a certain time.
I heard there was going to be donuts.
Donuts and bagels?
Yeah, where are them?
Oh,
Where
yeah,
them at?
they're in the break room.
I'm just
Free
disappointed there's no
carbs.
Rocco's Pizza.
That's next Tuesday.
Okay, good.
So,
I'll come back.
speaking of which, because Rocco's coming back in the month of December and the tail end of November, he had to step away from doing tap out because he opened up the new location on Broadway, and he was overwhelmed. He had so much on his plate, right? Any restaurant owner can relate to that. And I saw him before he even announced he was open. It was already like a soft open. I went for lunch. I wanted to get some wings and a sandwich. And I'm sitting there at the bar, and then I see him, and he looks beat up.
Restaurants are hard.
Yeah, I know. And I felt him, too, and I wasn't there to solicit anything. I was just there because I needed a fix, and I'm supporting my boy, and I wanted to check out the place. And it's beautiful. It's a great restaurant.
It's beautiful.
In fact, actually, Rocco's kind of stepped itself up to me. I mean, it's obviously just great food, and Super Bowl's right around the corner, so obviously you would be lucky if you got pizza wings from Rocco's on Super Bowl Sunday. But just going there, like, that's like a date night spot now.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
It's a pretty spot.
It's a
dude.
whole new vibe.
It is, dude. You got nice floors and ceilings, a massive bar, good booths, and yeah. So I'll probably be there. Hell, maybe even this weekend. Just to have a fancy dinner, and then not poop for a day and a half. You know? I love the cheese, dude. So Rocco's coming back on Tuesday, and when he does come back for tap out, I believe he's going to bring in his absent pizza because it's probably one of my favorite deep dishes I've ever had.
I think it's their best pizza.
It is by far. So what the thing is, that used to be only a once a year monthly special, and that was one of the things that he changed in this new location. He's like, the absent pizza is on the menu year round. So it's like taco absent in a deep dish pizza. And honestly, if you haven't tried it, you're doing yourself a disservice. It is legitimately one of the best things you'll ever shove in your mouth.
Okay. I don't know. I've had a lot of good things in my mouth.
Hey, I'm the one keeping it clean and foodie.
Shoved in my mouth. I'm looking forward to trying that. I've never had the Opson pizza.
It's so good, dude. And you've had an Opson taco, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so he gets all the, from the carniceria, marinated. So it's carne asada, bacon, chili. Obviously got the cheese, sauteed onions, and mushrooms.
No, I see why you said you won't poop for
and green chili.
Yeah,
well, it's a cheese. It's cheese a dozen.
Oh, a lot of cheese, yeah.
Yeah, so it's fantastic.
That's amazing.
On top of the Tucson Foodie craft beer crawl that's happening on February 22nd, the return of the Vegan Night Market is going to be happening on March 2nd, I believe.
March 1st.
March 1st. So you got to keep an eye out for that. You don't need tickets for that. That's a free event. It's at the Rito Park, and it's growing. Now it's on the field.
We moved it back to the pavilions.
Okay, that's I like that idea actually.
Yeah, we like it more intimate.
Yes, and that was the one thing. Well, you
even
had
though
two
it's
things.
4,000 people, it feels better over there.
Absolutely, it feels like a street market.
Yeah,
like you're in New York City, or you're down in Chinatown. You're going elbow to elbow with people for sure, legitimately. But I say like it was cold on the last one, super cold, and of course then it was super spread out, so you didn't even have the body heat. But obviously tons of people coming out, and you see that when it's underneath the awning there. So Vegan Night Market calendars for that. Make sure you follow Tucson Foodie as well. It's just great food content. You might even see me there out chicken winging somebody. Who knows?
I think we'll do it.
Yeah, because I'll take a challenge. Valdez, stand behind me while I do it. Again, I need to look intimidating. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for the show today. Anything else you want to mention before we wrap things up with you, Shane?
No, it's good to see you, and I hope to be back on the show more through this year.
The door is open, dude.
Yeah?
So,
Great,
you got lots of different events. I'm sure we'll collaborate on a bunch of cool stuff. And congratulations, Tucson. Number 7, according to the BBC, as far as places to visit. So, hopefully,
In
we'll
the
get
world.
in the world. So, hopefully, we get a lot of foodie travelers coming through here, and that's good news for everybody. You guys enjoy your extended weekend. Hopefully, you have MLK Day off as well. We'll be back on Tuesday morning with Rocco, a bunch of tickets to give away, and everything else. Until then, subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/bevegan. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. And clear. All right, that was it. That was a good time. Let's go get some bagels. Thanks everybody for everything, and we'll be back on Tuesday morning. Have a good weekend. Oh, I'm doing mushrooms on Saturday.